So, welcome back to another video. This is TeamOverclocked, and today we're talking about an $800 full setup for gaming. The PC in this full setup is going to be able to run games like Battlefield 1 and GTA 5 at 1080p high-to-ultra settings at around 60 FPS. In harder to run games like The Witcher 3, you won't be hitting the 60 FPS mark, but you will still be getting a playable experience with this PC. Now with the benchmarks out of the way, let's get right into the PC build. For the CPU, I went with the Intel Core i5-6400 for $176. This is a fast quad-core CPU clocked at a decent 2.7 GHz with a turbo boost up to 3.2 GHz. You should be getting most of the latest features from Intel, and also, since this has 4 strong cores, this should be the ideal CPU for gaming, as most games currently require 4 strong threads to function optimally. Next up for the motherboard, I went with the ASROCK B150M PROV for $61. This is a nice motherboard with 4 RAM slots, USB 3 headers, 6 SATA ports, and an M.2 slot. Along with that, this has a B150 chipset, so all around this motherboard has everything you need for gaming, along with some room for upgrades. For the RAM, I went with the G.SKILL AEGIS 8GB set for $52. This RAM set is great for gaming since it's a 1x8GB configuration clocked at 2400 MHz. 8GB should be all you need for gaming at the moment, and it should allow for some light video editing as well. For the hard drive, I went with the SEAGATE BARRACUDA 1TB drive for $49. This is a nice bang for the buck drive that spins at 7200 RPM and has 64 MB of cache. This should provide enough storage to store the OS, some documents, along with a pretty large Steam library. For the graphics card, I went with the SAPPHIRE Nitro Plus RX 480 for $180. This is a fast GPU clocked at 1.2 GHz and has 4 GB of GDDR5 VRAM. Along with that, this has a nice dual fan cooler, which should allow you to keep temperatures low and should provide some overclocking headroom, since you should be able to safely overclock this without making it run too hot. Now the GPU should be great for maxing out games at 1080p and can easily push games at 1440p as well when paired with a decent CPU like the i5 in this build. Next up for the case, we have the CORSAIR CARBIDE 88R for $50. This is a nice looking case with a tinted side panel window, a sleek aluminum finish, and a lot of drive bays, along with some decent cable management options. This also has a USB 3 port along with some audio jacks on the front panel, and so for the price you can't really beat this. For the power supply, I threw in an EVGA 500B ATX power supply for $43. For a PSU of this caliber, this is insanely cheap since it's made by the reliable brand EVGA, who put high quality components in all of their power supplies. This is also 80+ bronze certified, meaning that 85% of the power from this power supply is going to be going to your PC rather than being turned into heat. Next up for the OS, we have Microsoft Windows 10 Home for $40. This is currently the best OS for gaming hands down, since most AAA titles are released on this platform. You can get this for $40 or less at sites like Microsoft Software Swap or on Kinguin, both of which I will link in the description. For the monitor, I went with the ASUS VP22H for $109. This is a great looking 1080p monitor with a 60Hz refresh rate and a 1 millisecond response time. Along with that, this has an HDMI port, a DVI port, and some built-in speakers, so for a monitor of this price, you can't really get much better than this. For the keyboard, we have the COOLERMASTER LITE L combo for $46. This is a membrane keyboard with zoned RGB and has a nice optical mouse included with the purchase. Even though this is not mechanical, it is a pretty high membrane keyboard, and it does copy some of the features that mechanical keyboards have, and it does have a similar switch, although it might not feel as good as an average mechanical keyboard. So yeah guys, if you're looking to get this full setup, there will be a link in the description down below. And yeah guys, that's all for today. If you liked the video, please go overclock the like button. If you didn't like it, please dislike this video and subscribe for more content like this. And I will see you guys in the next one.